on turn in fishing out those who are part of sponsoring these guys and those who actually killed Baku by themselves. And all that sons of Ekpe, you've been on the news. Here when Chisom Luna died in Ahoada West. Here when Barrister Nathan died. A lot of people have died. Let me tell you for a fact, if we give you a countdown from 2015 till now of deaths in Ekpe community, Ekpe land, we'll be counting 500 plus. I'm not exaggerating it.
All right, let's take a commercial. When we come back, the message of preaching now. You tell us how the youths who are still in the community, what role they have to play. And some people are saying the youths are not really doing enough. They're not doing much at all these days. If that is true, you would let us know. And also the traditional rulers. And so far, how you intend to spread this message of peace. Right after the commercial. Stay tuned.
Give your buildings the classic touch of excellence with products from
of the concerned Ekpeye youths with me here in the studio as well, Mr. Moses and Mr. Joe, was also a member of that group and partook in the protest with east from Ahoada West. And security concerns around Ahoada is what the conversation is about. And you heard why they had to embark on that protest to the office of the commissioner. Which brings me, Mr. Moses, you met with the commissioner, the protest and all. How did that meeting go? Did the police, because the recent video that came up on social media of the same gangs brandishing weapons and pledging loyalties and all of that, got a lot of people talking, and people are beginning to say, oh, is the police not working? So you led that protest and went to the commissioner's office. Was anything said concerning that?
Yeah, at this point, I think if we want to solve the security issue in our land, we must fight it ourselves, not just about the police. We'll have to fight it. Ekpe has to speak up, has to come up. Or die and I die.
Which brings me to my next question, because on Facebook, the post we have there is, should we begin to question youths in the communities? What are they doing? Who is standing up to say this is our land? Like, if you people cannot come out and do this, is that something that is possible?
What is happening today is as a result of we not speaking out and we not taking the bull by the horns, like coming up to challenge the situation by ourselves. We were waiting for our allies, we were waiting for the government to come to our rescue. That is why it took so long and deteriorated to this point. As I'm speaking with you, I had some meetings with the commissioner recently, and though he's angry, but he also told me that the police will do their part, but there is more on the Ekpeans. The Ekpeans has to pick the fight by their bull, not shying away from it, not running away from it, not trying to avoid, not being scared of what will happen. I should take the message back. That this fight is a fight for Ekpe, because the police will be there and they will get tired, but the killing won't stop. The killing didn't start from SP Bako. So if we don't speak up for ourselves, if we don't point out, if we don't challenge ourselves, my brother, this killing will continue.
One of the chiefs, if I'm not mistaken, was arrested. And he's been fingered to have a thing or two that led to the death of SB Bako, which brings us to begin to question traditional institutions. Let's come to Joe in Ahoada West and the situation. The fact that reports are coming in that people are being levied to pay security funds, and I know you've stated that, well, you haven't firsthand directly gotten that information, but the possibility of that happening might not be far off. Looking at the insecurity situation, anybody could begin to do anything. It brings us to begin to ask, because I tried to get to some of the traditional leaders when I got that report, and the response wasn't very nice. Don't want to talk, and you would say perhaps people are scared for their lives, and because they live right there in that community, it becomes even more difficult. But it brings us to say, and now, how then? What should the youths be doing?
That is exactly what we're doing now. We have all come out to say we will not stay in our shells and allow these things to fester. We will not act as though we're not concerned. That we are calling out on every Ekpe youth who genuinely thinks that he or she is not part of this crime. What is the big deal in you picking up your phone and condemning this act? What is the big deal you picking up your social media and telling the world that we are exactly not part of this?
Are the traditional rulers and traditional institutions, are they in support of ensuring this ends? Because the fact that a chief was fingered in this raises that question.
Whether traditional rulers, whether political rulers, whether whatever they are all human beings. Human beings can do anything they want to do, regardless of the position they hold. In fact, even those who are of the security agencies, they could still be complicit to crime. So it does not exonerate them because they are traditional rulers or whatever. Actually, for every son daughter of Ekpe.
But shouldn't the fight start from there?
We're not waiting for
addressing the leaders right directly living with us in the community. Let me finish.
Yes,
who
sir.
over the years, like he has said, this has been going on for a long time. And if anybody would have come forward to begin to voice anything, would have been those that the people trusted to say, you are our chief, you are our king. And if now we're not fingering some of them to say, oh, you are complicit in this, then that questions the traditional institution in that land. In the eyes of many people.
It does. The governor said it himself. The governor even suspended indefinitely one of the traditional rulers. That's what the governor knows. I don't have an understanding of why he did that. But he said for complicity, allowing those boys stay in his domain. That's what the governor said. But the point is, I also do not attend security meetings of traditional rulers and what they do and how they be trying their best. I do not know. But the result of which I know is that the killings have not stopped. The result of which I know is that people have not stopped being scared of going home. In fact, we're just approaching Egwekpe festival, and it will not hold the 99% of the communities in the Ekpe kingdom because everybody's afraid. All right, even as much more afraid that these boys who killed the very savior Bako, who was against them what they were, in just 3 months of him or 4 stay in Ahoada. So the scare has even grown, and as we speak now, the police has not brought the killers to book. So the fear is high. So whatever they've done in the past to try to stop this menace, all the way from 2015 as we know, and even beyond, and all the people that have been killed, we cannot quantify their results better than saying it has not worked.
But
this is where we are now.
Seeing the video of those gang members, does that raise any concerns for you and the people? What sort of concerns?
It raises double concern for everyone that is within the area of Ekpe Kingdom. That's why we want to differentiate between those who are for this evil and those who are not for this evil. We want posterity and the land to judge carefully those who are not sitting on the fence and are doing all they can to go against this menace. We are calling the police, the DSS, the Nigerian government. This is beyond the Ekpe war. This is beyond even the commissioner of police just staying and trying to do his best. Let the whole Nigeria come to this aid and hold this to around. It's over a week now. This happened. And I can tell you for a fact, Andrew, every man and woman who is from Ekpe, we are being highly, highly stigmatized. You can't go to the street and discuss yourself as an Ekpe man. You can't. You can't drive on the road and you are flagged down by a stop and check police point and then you introduce yourself as an Ekpe man. The stigma is unbearable. So the only way for us to rescue ourselves is to begin to create a divide between those who are for this evil and those who are not for it. And that's why we're calling on every son, daughter of Ekpe. It cannot be on the fence. Let me even point out this. I understand that most people who are fingered could be associates and friends, family members, interest people of different Ekpe young boys and girls. But I'm asking them to understand that when you call justice, justice is for even those who are innocent and have been, are held captive. That just to prevail for them so it will be released and exonerated. So come out and make the call with us. By the grace of God, we are planning with the Commissioner of Police, we have an understanding to even repeat the visit to his office that we would have held on Saturday very properly to him. He wasn't around. And so if that happens and we have an understanding and that happens, we'll go back to him and tell the whole world that, okay, we are this Ekpe youth, but we are not those ones who are against people's welfare and peace. That's our message.
All right, let's get to the phone lines because many people are saying, unemployment could be why we have some of the youths involved in this act. Mr. Moses, do you share that thought? You think unemployment could be why people would now take to crime and begin to act at this level?
Yeah, I think unemployment is one of the major cause of the crisis that is happening in our land.
The video you saw and the people you saw, do you think those people would want to work?
Everything starts, charity begins at home. There is a foundation. When one has been at home, no engagement, looking for what to eat, you start thinking wide. You start thinking how you can earn a meal, how you can clothe yourself. All those things. Whenever you start thinking about those things, I think your channels. And I would say that our politicians, they actually failed us. They failed us. People were actually thinking that the essence of the protest was against the traditional rulers. I want to state it here. It wasn't for that. We were only there. We wanted to go to the place to exonerate ourselves and also support the police, not to tell the police to detain whomever or the traditional rulers or call out any traditional rulers. That was why they try as much as possible to frustrate us. They tried all they could to frustrate us.
Who tried?
I wouldn't know, but from what it is, I had several calls that day.
Who called you?
I had several calls from different numbers that I couldn't even. You guys are going for this thing. You guys are fighting the power that be. Why are you people doing this? I keep asking myself. This is just a peaceful condolence, a solidarity to support the police, and also tell the world that Ekpe is a peaceful place. Ekpe has been a peaceful place, a loving place.
Okay. Let's open the phone lines now. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0003. That is, those are the numbers to call to join in on the conversation on Facebook. Kamalu says the bad boy youths are the major problem because they are the ones giving those boys intel and information inside the bushes, supplying them food and drinks. I pray where people wake up because River State is developing and Ahoada could be left behind. Robin is calling from a cheer. Robin, please, straight to the point. I'm sure you're aware of the question and what the conversation is. Go on, Robin.
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Let me greet those men in the studio.
Eka.
You see, Andrew, I've told you, for a man to appear in the public and announce his name, either openly to speak on any issue, it's not an easy road. It's not easy to openly speak against forces. But there's something those my brothers there are saying, which I do not agree, that the community people should defend themselves. Defend themselves with machete or with penknife or with what? Where we are, it's not the issue of talking on WhatsApp, talking on social media. It's a situation where the structure of governance should come into play. There used to be a police station at Ubeta. Our police station there. There used to be a police station at Ubeta. Our policemen there, population have grown. Therefore, that small police station in Ahoada can no longer contain and serve the people. And the political structure of those who are in political positions should be called to ask questions. They cannot be going out with of security all around them, and we cannot sit and drink palm wine in our homes. All
right, Robin, thank you. There's a question we need to ask. Let's get to Kenneth in Rumukwachi first. Kenneth, good morning. Hello, Kenneth. Good morning. Oh my goodness, Kenneth, you'd have to call back. I think we're having issues with the network. Something I would like to ask: this protest. How about the lawmaker representing your area, the local government chairman as well? Has meetings been held with them? The youths, have you protested to their offices? Because even at the national level, they're supposed to have offices home in their district. At the state level, they're supposed to have offices so you can communicate with them. What has been done? What steps have been taken? You'd respond to that. Let's see. Okay, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, either of you. I mean, this is
yeah.
Moses.
Just like I said, the
local government chairman for a start.
The local government.
What meetings have been held with him and the youths of Ekbaye land?
I had in 2011. There was a time the socio-cultural group, this thing Zugbanekpe, called for the way forward on the issue of insecurity in Ekpe land, and then the two local government chairmen were invited. So
since 2011 till now that we had this incident and what is happening now, there's not been meetings?
The meeting ended in deadlock. There was no actual...
The one for 2011?
The two local government chairmen, from what I heard, took responsibility that they know how to take care of their local
That was
government.
for 2011?
That was for 2011.
Now, I'm talking of now. With this SP Bako situation and what is happening and the reports we're getting, what have they said now? Has there been any interface between youths and those leaders, those political leaders.
That is one of the reasons why we decided to hit the street ourselves, because we expected them to address us, call us, and inform us.
But you didn't protest to the council secretariat or the offices of these people. It was to the police station.
Because at this time investigations are going on and we are being stigmatized outside. Investigations are going on, so anybody can be found wanting. Everybody can be caught.
Let's take a few calls. We'll come to you, Joe, and get your response. Chima is in Ada, George. Chima, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Welcome, Chima.
Yes, Andrew, you asked a question about unemployment and what it has to do with insecurity. You see, in as much as I believe that unemployment has a relationship with crime. Of course, everybody are not the same. All of us are not employed, so we look for something to do to be able to keep ourselves busy. Andrew, another thing we must look into is government giving amnesty, you understand, to people who commit crime. The kind of reward they get, setting precedent that crime is the only way that one can be able to get something from government. That is one thing we must look into. People are not being prosecuted for crime. The last time, Andrew, during Don Wani would have become a traditional ruler then, because I remember, you understand, he would have become. But I don't know what happened. We have people who have key community, who have key people, displaced communities that are holding political office. Most of them are traditional rulers. So what precedent are you setting if somebody like that, who have key people, are holding positions? You are telling the upcoming ones that they should do the same, so they can find themselves in that place. So that is the thing. Until we be able to entrench justice, you understand? People must be paid for crime they commit. That is the only way to deter others from committing crime. Let me stop there. Thank you.
All right, Chima, let's go to Muriel. Muriel, good morning. Muriel is calling from Okrika. Hello, Muriel. Good morning.
Thank you, Efemi. Good morning.
Good morning. Go on.
This is your Okrika woman on the line. Look, Efemi, there is no community that is devoid of crime and criminality. But what I really love, is it one of the second what he said? He said we the youths have to take the bull by the horn. Efemi, trust me, the perpetrators of these crimes and criminality are the youths. And the youths make up almost 95% of the population in the communities. And just 1%, not just, let me say less than 3 to 4% are the persons that perpetrate these crimes. Look, Efemi, if the youths in every community can rise up, be so courageous and brave as these men in the studio, if they can rise up and say, no, we will stop these people, and they know themselves, they know the youths that are doing it. If they come together, Efemi, and say we will stop them, trust me, Efemi, it will go a long way to curbing these things. These people are just very few. If the youths come together like this, Efemi, crime and criminality will, to a large extent, be cut to the barest minimum. And while they do it, Efemi, I want to encourage the youth to look at, to be sensitive at the body languages of their traditional rulers. If any traditional ruler, if they see that is not supporting them, backing them up, they should come out. They should be loud, be very outspoken, come out in the radio, speak out to the governor that this person is not supporting us. We need to support this. Trust me, the children of the traditional rulers will not be there. In fact, they are not affected in any way. So they should voice it out. Traditional rulers that are not supporting and giving them the necessary support, they should expose them. And please, traditional rulers should please, as much as they can, work with these youth, because if they do crime and criminality, in fact, in all the local government, if it is curbed in all the villages, you see that the states, to a large extent, crime will reduce very well. So I encourage them, and other youth should learn from them,
All right, thank you very much. Israel is calling from Ahoada West. Israel.
Okay, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Comrade Dixon Israel from Ahoada West. So
go ahead. Go ahead. Talk to us.
Yeah. My brother, I want to appeal to federal government to fix the East-West route from the Ahoada East to Indiana. That was very bad, my brother. They should forget about giving us palliative. That palliative is not helping anybody. They should fix this East-West road as this of Ahoada to Indiana. Please, I'm appealing to the federal and state government.
All right, Israel, thank you. Thank you very much. Even though that wasn't what the conversation is focused on, but regardless, thank you. You heard some of the callers and their opinion in this. And I was asking you about the local government chairman, the lawmakers, the politicians that represent your area. The local government gets security votes. What security architectures do you even have in Ekpe land?
Mr. Andrew.
Some areas have OSPAC, some have SPAC in a chair, I know. What sort of security outfit?
To me, I think you should invite the local government chairman to come and explain that. Because, and also, the House of Assembly should also invite them to come and explain that.
But the youths now who are saying you want to take the situation by the horn, it starts with questioning these people and going to them to get answers.
That is what I want to explain to you and those listening. When you understand that people have responsibility to why they are in office, and they have refused to carry responsibility to the product of which we see. When people say, I've done a lot to enable in peace to reign, and the normal Ekpe man sitting wherever in the communities in Ekpe cannot feel the peace you are advocating for and trying to work out with your office, it means there is no peace. And so we are not going to them to go and teach them their job. The Ahoada East chairman, Ahoada West chairman, the assembly members, the House of Rep members, whichever form of leadership, the traditional leadership, we're not going to teach them their job. If they know what's best to do, they should do what they need to do. We are coming out to tell the world that we are in a very bad shape. And they are supposed to be part of those advocating this. So if they're not joining us, of course you can see for yourself. And so we're not going to meet Ahoada East chairman or West chairman and explain to him, say, what are you doing about it? That is for his own job. He chose the responsibility to be the leader, and if he's not doing what he's supposed to do...
Did you not vote for him?
No, I didn't vote. Now, on Ahoada West, where I voted for the chairman at the time, if he's not taking the responsibility of curbing the crime in Ahoada West, we are telling the security agencies, why is A, B, and C not involved in this? That is the point we're making here. If they've invited a certain ruler, haven't they? So if the security agency feel that a chairman or a councillor or a rep member or an assembly member is complicit in this crime, they should go for him.
But today, Mr. Moses, do these people all stay in Ekpe land? Or do they stay in their various localities?
Even if they do, they move around with security, of course.
Yeah, they move around with
and
security.
Even if they do, so this does not even affect them.
Like my local government chairman, I think he stays more in Ahoada. More, he's around. So I wouldn't know for Ahoada West, but Ahoada East, I think he stays more. Ifemi, one of the issues in Ekpe, and I think, like I say, this situation is within Ekpe, it's not from outside Ekpe. We have a lot of political sycophants. We have a lot of youth who are sycophants. They sycophants these politicians and traditional rulers to the point that these men even forget their responsibility in the society. You can tell when someone is telling you, chairman, a man you be, chairman, nothing they happen, chairman, without you nobody. You can see the kind of eulogy they are creating for these men, and they feel they are doing so much for the people. That is where it comes to the area of the security vote you are talking about. That is where it comes to the area of the security vote, because when you have a youth who maybe stays at home only to be expecting a stipend of 10,000, 15,000 or 20,000 from a particular politician, and the particular politician gives him that stipend so that he can be hailing him on the social media. I understand. I think we at the point we diverted our in security issues to political issues of psychophancy.
All right, we'll have to wrap up here. We're already out of time. This message on WhatsApp says the problem is that those boys get first-class information, not only in the community, but even from security personnel. Americana, you sent that message in. This one says, what will happen if I've asked you for money? Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't get what you're saying. I would have... Leighton Barry, I have not seen your message on Facebook. He keeps telling me he sent me a message. I'll check. I haven't seen it, but I will check. All right. Thank you. We have to wrap things up here, gentlemen. Thank you for being a part of the conversation, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors and hope that peace returns to Ahoada East and West as soon as possible. Good morning.
For that shine skin, make you use Vaseline and your skin go the shine as it's supposed to be. Vaseline, they good for you from your head go reach.